Had a nice little visit from the check engine light. Pulled over into a fuel station. Opened the hood and this is what I saw. One of the belts came off. It wasn't overheating or anything, but it's leaking coolant on the there and right down there. And there's one more section around there, as you can see. The belt came off. It's not shredded, it's not burst or anything, but guess we'll deal with it and get moving again. Fast forward to the next day. This is what basically happened. The Loves guy came first, said they couldn't do it because they didn't have the part, they didn't have anybody to do it. So then I ended up paying for another road call from a TA. Spoke with the maintenance guy, told him what was going on, showed him, sent him some photos. They said they wanted the part number to see if they had it because they had a water pump. They wanted to come out here to check first to see if it was the right water pump. So I was like, nah, let me send you some photos and then you can email them the photos or whatever. They said, okay. I sent them the photos. He called me back an hour later saying, yeah, they got it. They came in the night to come get it changed. Turns out when they came, it was the wrong water pump. This one has sensors on there. These are the sensors right here. The one they brought didn't have a sensor, so I had to source it. Otherwise, today is Sunday, everywhere is closed. Luckily, I was able to find somewhere. It's about 80 miles away from here, and they had it. So I had to get TA to go to 80 miles to go get it and come back here to go and put it on. Today they sent somebody different. They sent a female. Nothing against females, because if you know what you're doing, then you just know what you're doing. But last night when the guys that came, the first thing they did was they put a big blue tub down there. So I guess when they opened the water pump, all that coolant would go inside. No, I'm not sure if they were planning on reusing that coolant, if it would be safe to use it. I don't know. But it just would prevent a big mess. This time she just came. This female just came and just opened it, so there's coolant like all over the place. Besides that, as you can see, there's a bolt right there that fell. She didn't really take that one up, but I'm gonna make sure I take it up because I don't want to leave any bolts not in there or whatever. There's like one laying there and then every other bolt is like right there. So she started working on it about 30 minutes. She got the water pump off, as you can see. It's completely off. Turns out she didn't have one of the right sockets, so she had to leave. So she was going to go to an AutoZone or go back to the shop. I don't know where the hell. So she was going to go get it and then come back. So right now it's been a day that I've already been down. This load delivers tomorrow in the afternoon. If they should get it fixed, I should still be able to cover it miraculously if everything goes well. I'll just sit right here and take my 34-hour reset. I feel like that's why I'm not even so upset. As far as the costs go, I'm gonna wait until everything is done and I'll say what is going to cost me to for them to go get the part and the road call and all that stuff, because that stuff adds up fast. And the belt is going to be replaced also. The belt is not torn or shredded, but it will be recommended to get the belt changed also. So I'm gonna check in with the next update after she basically gets back. Yeah, so you basically seen those two little clippings of what was going on with the truck. Like I said, that's been 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. Truck's been running fine now. I have no fault codes, no check engine lights, no issues whatsoever. Everything's been running smooth. as far as the costs go, it ended up costing me about 16, almost 1700 bucks. That's what it ended up costing me. And the reason why it ended up being so expensive is because I had to pay for the road call for TA to go get it, because the place was like 80, I think it was like 90 miles away. It was like 90 miles away. I tried to Uber it, but it would cost me like 138 one way to Uber and then 138 back to go get it myself. So I decided that I would just use the TA, pay the TA the 200 bucks and let them go get it. And it's luckily I didn't pay for it also because the way it works, I could have paid for it out of pocket. Let me just, before I even get into that, I was going to pay for everything out of pocket, take the money out of my maintenance account, but the maintenance guy said if I wanted VL to pay for it and then they take it back out of my check. I was like, what? If you guys gonna pay for it and I can use your money instead of using my money, I'm always gonna use your money and then you can take it back out of my check. You know what I mean? So I didn't pay anything up front. They just took the 1700. They just paid the 1700 bucks, and then they took it back out of my check once I got my check. So this way my maintenance account is still untouched. I could basically just use it as savings. And while I'm at that, I might as well say, you know, when I was doing the leasing, I mean, it's a lot of money for $1,000, but I was told by the recruiter that if something major happens and your truck should be down for 2 weeks, what they'll do, they will give you a truck. You have to pay the 500 bucks each for each of those weeks for that truck, and you have to pay the same 500 bucks for this truck that you're leasing. So it basically becomes $1,000 a week, but you would still be able to run and get some miles or get some revenue to the truck. This way, even though it's $1,000 that they would be taking out of your pocket, you would still be able to make some revenue, which I think makes sense. It's still a lot, but it's, are you gonna sit for 2 weeks and make no money and still have the truck payment come out, or are you gonna run for 2 weeks and still make some revenue? You know what I mean? So that's that. But my truck hasn't been broken down for so long. It was only 2 days basically, and I ended up taking my 34-hour reset. So back to what I was saying, he said the maintenance guy told me they could pay for it or I could pay for it, whichever way. He said if I paid for it, there wouldn't be any warranty on it. So it's better if I let them pay for it, because what's going to happen is that they're going to pay TA. TA is going to actually buy the water pump from Freightliner and then sell it back to VL, and then when VL pays for it, they get a warranty. So if anything, if it breaks or whatever within a space of 1 year, I take it back to a TA and they get it replaced. You know what I mean? So I only seen it wiser for me to do it that way. So it ended up costing me 1,700 bucks in total. I had to pay for the road call from the Loves, because the Loves guy came first, and then I had to pay for the road call for the TA, and then I had to pay for the repair, and I had to pay for the water pump, and I had to pay for them to go get it. That's why it ended up being so much, you know what I mean? But when all that's said and done, the truck's been running fine. I have no fault codes, no issues. The morning, however, when I did leave, I did start the truck when she was there after she finished doing the whole thing. I did start the truck, let the truck run for about an hour, make sure there wasn't any leaks or anything, you know what I mean? Everything was fine. I didn't drive immediately because I was still taking my 34, so I got up like at 3 o'clock in the morning to drive, and then when I started the truck, it said stop immediately. When I popped the hood again and I checked, this time the coolant level went down. It was below the mark that it was supposed to be at. So luckily when she was leaving, she had a bottle and a half of coolant. She asked me if I wanted them to add it to the bill, and I said yes, just leave it with me, just add it to the bill and leave it with me. So I would have been stranded again at 3 o'clock in the morning, because nowhere would have been open for me to get it. So luckily I had the coolant in there, just topped it up, started going, drove for about 2 hours, checked it, it was fine. And then when I drove, at the end of the day when I stopped, I noticed that there was coolant on the ground again. So I popped the hood, and it turns out I put too much coolant in there, so it was pushing it back out through the overflow. I let it sit on a level spot, opened it again, checked it the next morning. It was a little bit low, so topped it up right to the right level, and ever since then it's been going great. You know what I mean? I haven't had any issues with it. You know what I mean? So that's what's been going on for the first week. I've had 2 more roller coaster weeks after that, which I'm going to tell you about. Doesn't have anything to do with breakdowns, but it was something that's been basically going on with VL. So I'm going to share that in the next video that I have, because I have like 2 more videos that I want to upload. I'm going to share that in the next video. Thank you guys very much for subscribing to the channel. I see all the new subscribers. Thank you for everybody that's been watching from day one. Shout out to everybody that's been coming to VL too, man. A few people reach out to me, whether they're in the process of coming to VL. A few people reach out to me that's been working here at VL. Shout out to Lashawn. She's working here at VL as a company driver. Shout out to my homeboy from New York. He's on the Lease side also, at VL doing his thing, you know what I mean? But the other dude, you know what I mean, from Florida that's coming on also. Well, shout out to everybody, you know what I mean? And shout out to everybody that's out there in the trucking world. Thank you guys very much again for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the other videos.